So, ayahuasca and relationships. This is a juicy topic because these are my two main areas of expertise, especially relationships. And there's a lot of people who ask me this question: hey, should I do it by myself or should I bring my partner? Number one. Number two, what if after the ceremonies I have changed so much that I'm no longer in love with them? What if I realize that I'm in the wrong relationship? Will ayahuasca make me break up with my partner? So let's start with where this question is coming from. And everyone that asks this is asking because underneath all of it, they have a feeling that there's something in their partner that they have been willfully ignorant to. There's something about them that they have ignored, and they pretend that it's not there. So when they ask, what if I don't like them anymore? What they're really saying is that, what if I pay attention to all these things about my relationship that I have not paid attention to, but that deep inside hurt me? What if I realize that I have made the wrong choice, that I'm in the wrong relationship? And the answer to this, to the first question, should I do it by myself or with them? Both are fine, but never force someone else to join you in this path. Your journey and your calling is your calling. There should not be, unless they are also curious and interested and they have this calling too, you should not spend any time trying to convince them, because they might resent you, they might resent the whole process, and they might distract you from your own journey. But number two, will ayahuasca have you break up with your partner? What ayahuasca does in relationships is that it brings you to a place of clarity and harmony. So around clarity, a lot of our choices are clogged by our karmic structure, our karmic tendencies. What I mean by this is that a lot of what you do day by day is based out of your habits, your compulsions, and your traumas. You're either running towards that which you have found gives you pleasure, or away from that which has caused you pain in the past. And you're in a way enslaved to this cycle. You're also running based on what you saw love was when you were growing up. Your relationship to your mom, to your dad. All of these things will determine, as well as your biology, who you find attractive. What you find attractive in your partner, in a partner. What turns you on, what draws you closer, or what repels you from somebody. Right? What ayahuasca does is it starts cutting all these cords, helping you heal and resolve all these things so that you come to a place of clarity, a place where your action is not riddled and stained by your history and your past, but your action gets to a point where it is conscious, where you can see present moment to present moment, where you're at, where you want to go, what resonates with your heart, and not with your tendencies, not with your habits, with your traditions, with your trauma. So when you have clarity, you may find out that the place from which you picked that relationship was a place of a lot of pain, a lot of disconnection, a lot of trauma. A lot of people realize this, they see that there was so much in them, a lot of codependency happening, and they found the perfect mirror for that. They found someone with whom they were a perfect fit in their codependent tendencies. But what happens once you have healed that part of you that is needy, that needs somebody else to love him or her? What happens when you get to a place where you discover that love that is inside of you, that beauty, that joy that comes from just being alive? What happens when your body is clean from all that baggage and all that history, and now your body is not pulling you compulsion after compulsion to be attracted to certain kind of toxicity? Well, what happens is that what you once found attractive stops being attractive immediately. And this can be challenging, and I've met many people that have had to have divorces or breakups because they realize that the person they were dating was a good match to their traumatized, limited, closed-off self. But the new version, the version that was closer to their truth, that was free of all that baggage, was not a good match to the person they left back home, to the person that they were dating. On the other hand, and this one is way more common than the first one, is that we usually think that we're great partners. And this has happened to me as well. I went to a ceremony thinking, for sure the medicine is going to show me that my partner is irresponsible, that she doesn't care, that she has to do this and that it's time for me to move on and reconnect to myself and go on my own adventure and find somebody that is a better fit for me. I've had this happen in the past where I am convinced and I'm just going and sitting in ceremony. I'm going to get a clear signal saying, hey Nico, you're right. You've served your purpose in her life, she has served hers, you can now split ways. And in the middle of the ceremony, the plant starts showing me every single way in which I have acted out of integrity, out of alignment, out of consciousness. Every single word that I have said that was not from a place of love. Every subtle gesture and emotion that was maybe violent in a very subtle way. That was maybe a little bit condescending. And it showed me how what I have been planting has been exactly what I've been receiving. And in the middle of a lot of tears and pain, I realized, wow, I thought she was wrong, but I can see that I was wrong the whole time. And I don't want to say wrong, but I was unconscious the whole time. I can see that my desire to disconnect and to end that relationship came from the difficulty that it was for me to deal with the reflection of myself through my partner. And I realized that actually the way forward was not ending this and moving on, because then I will meet someone in the future who will bring me to the exact same place, because it's not something that I had healed. But the way forward was recognizing these ways in which I had created the wrong atmosphere in my relationship, and going and apologizing and committing to something different and standing by that commitment. So a few times in the past when I thought, okay, it's gonna show me that it's time to take our separate ways, it actually told me like, no, you're trying to take the easy way out because you don't want to see yourself, which is, it's hard, it's difficult, right? Especially if you've been doing a lot of inner work, it's so easy to see the other person as the one that needs fixing, because you understand yourself and you think, I'm a great person, I've done my work, the other person is just starting or they're way behind, so of course they're the ones that are in the wrong. And usually they're not. Very often we're avoiding that chance to look at stuff that we haven't resolved. So to wrap it up, ayahuasca and relationships, do not force anyone to come with you. It should be a personal experience. I do believe that as a shared experience, it can be very beautiful, very, very, very beautiful, whether it's your partner, a family member, a friend. It can be very, very beautiful, but only if both people want it. If it takes any amount of convincing, it's not for them. Not just yet. And secondly, will I break up with my partner if I drink ayahuasca? Maybe yes, maybe you realize that you're dating a person that was a good match to your pain and your suffering, and once you don't suffer, they don't like you and you don't like them. Or maybe you will realize that the stone inside your shoe was not the other person, that it was your own self, and that you have been the only one getting in your own way of a beautiful relationship. I hope this makes things clear. If you're interested about ayahuasca retreats in Colombia, we just opened up again the sacred land where we work with native shamans. Send me a message, post a comment if you have any questions, and if one day you feel inspired to come to Colombia and spend some time with us, I look forward to seeing you here. I love you and see you soon.